Hey guys, welcome to Safi Mixed. In this video, I will let you know about the concepts of interval on a real line, its different forms and representations. So let me begin from definition. An interval is a subset of real line provided it contains two numbers and all the real numbers between them. So the important thing to note is that interval is defined on a real line and there are two conditions on it. Number first, it contains two numbers, and number second, all the real numbers between them. So to further clarify this concept, let me draw a real line with numbers moving to plus infinity and minus infinity. Now consider this configuration where x is greater than minus 1 and lesser than 2. This is an interval bounded by two numbers minus 1 and 2. That is, the first condition is satisfied and it contains all the real numbers between 2 and minus 1. So this is in fact an interval. Similarly, a configuration like this where x is greater than minus 4 is again an interval because it is bounded by minus 4 and at the other end it goes to infinity. So all the numbers between plus infinity and minus 4 are included. Therefore, this is also an interval. On the other hand, a configuration like this where x is greater than minus 4 and lesser than 9 and x not equal to 5 is not an interval because it doesn't contain the real number 5, which violates the second condition on the definition of interval. So this is in fact not an interval. Now let us understand the different forms of intervals. An interval where both the endpoints are part of the interval is written inside square brackets, and in the set notation it is written like this, that is x is a member of the interval where x is greater or equal to a and lesser or equal to b, means a and b are both members of the interval. On the geometry of a real line, such an interval is expressed by putting two filled circles at the position of A and B, and this interval is called closed interval. There is another type of interval where the numbers are included inside parentheses, and in set formats, this interval is expressed as x, where x is greater than a and lesser than b, means the numbers a and b are not included into the interval. However, it contains all the numbers less greater than a and lesser than b. Such an interval on the real line is expressed by putting two unfilled circles, one at the position of A and the other at the position of B, and this interval is called open interval. An interval can be closed and open at the same time, and such an interval is written like this. This is an interval that includes A but does not include B. Such an interval in the set format is written like this, that is x is a member of the interval where x is greater or equal to A and lesser than B, which means B is not included in the interval. Such an interval on the real line is represented by putting a filled circle and an empty circle. The filled circle is put at the position of A and the empty circle is put at the position of B, and this interval is open on B. Similarly, an interval open on A is written like this, that is, we put parentheses at the prior to A and the square bracket after B. Such an interval in set format is expressed like this: x, where x is a greater than a and lesser or equal to b, means that b is now included in the interval and a is excluded. On the real line, such an interval is expressed again by putting two circles, but this time the filled circle is put at the position of B and the empty circle at the position of A, and this is called upper interval and A. Now we know that infinity is not a real number. Therefore, an interval towards infinity is expressed like this, that is, an interval closed at a and open at infinity, because infinity is not a real number. And this in the set format is written as x greater or equal to a, and no information about infinity is included. That means it is open at the infinity. And on the real line, geometrically, it is represented by putting a filled circle at the position of A. Similarly, an interval open at minus infinity, because minus infinity is also not a real number, is written like this. And in the set format, it is written like x, where x is lesser or equal to b. And on the real line, geometrically, it is expressed like this. That is, we put a filled circle at the position of b. Thanks for watching.